So, there's this movie where our hero Finn is basically Picasso in pajamas, trying to turn his apartment into the Louvre Museum with his painting skills. He's shacked up with his girlfriend Callie and his bestie Jasper, who's less about the art and more about betting on whether paint dries faster in the shade. Finn's got a side gig too, managing the apartment complex because multitasking is his middle name. Enter Big Joe, the security guard who's about as much use as a chocolate teapot but with a heart of gold. Finn, in a moment of either sheer brilliance or complete boredom, invites Joe to a rager they're planning. Because nothing says party like inviting the guy who's supposed to enforce noise complaints. Cue dramatic music as the landlord calls. Apparently Mr. B, one of the tenants, is playing hide-and-seek with his rent payments. 2 months in hiding, to be exact. Callie, doubling as a rent collector and part-time detective, decides to check on him, only to find a door more barricaded than Fort Knox with newspapers. Armed with the master key because privacy is overrated, Callie discovers Mr. B's apartment is basically a shrine to their living room. Turns out Mr. B fancied himself a bit of a paparazzo, capturing their every move. Jasper's convinced they've got their very own peeping Tom, but with an artistic twist. The plot thickens when they stumble upon a camera that's less Kodak moment and more time machine. This thing's snapping pics from the future because who needs a weather app when you can get tomorrow's news today? As they're digesting this, the camera decides to drop a spoiler for their upcoming house party. Jasper's still not buying it, because accepting a future-telling camera would mean believing in something crazier than his betting odds. Then they find Mr. B's diary, which is less "Dear Diary, today I had soup," and more "Saw my death. Be right back trying to break the space-time continuum." It turns out Mr. B was trying to cheat death, or at least get a sneak peek at it, which apparently didn't end well judging by his crispy appearance in a storage unit. Back in their own dimension, Jasper, the entrepreneurial spirit he is, suggests using the camera to up their gambling game. Finn's not too keen on the idea, because messing with time for cash seems like a bad plot twist. But Callie's all in, ready to roll the dice with fate. And so, with a dead man's diary, a camera that's too nosy for its own good, and a plan that's about as solid as a soup sandwich, they throw the kind of party that might just make history. Jasper and Callie are living it up, dancing like there's no tomorrow at their party, while Finn plays time-traveling photographer at Mr. B's haunted house of Polaroids. In a twist straight out of a Back to the Future reject script, Finn snaps a pic at the witching hour of 8 p.m., and lo and behold, it's a match with the spooky future camera's printout. Then, as if on cue, the camera spits out another shot, featuring our gang cheesing next to the latest sports almanac page taped to the window. The message? Bet big or go home, or end up crispy, like Mr. B. Despite Finn's gut screaming, this is a terrible idea. Callie becomes an overnight horticulturist and paper girl to keep up the illusion that Mr. B is just really into privacy. Finn, finding inspiration from the Polaroid, becomes the Picasso of plagiarism. Jasper, ever the entrepreneur, turns their window into Vegas, posting daily betting results like he's the bookie. Days pass, and their bank accounts swell, proof that crime does pay, until the camera catches Jasper and Callie in a steamy embrace, with Finn in the foreground, oblivious and painting. Finn's not thrilled about turning his life into a soap opera, but the cardinal rule dictates they play along, leading to a kiss that sets off more drama than a reality TV show finale. Just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, the next photo features Ivan, the bookie with a temper as volatile as a reality star on Twitter. Jasper's reaction? Pure couch potato mode, frozen in fear of Ivan's visit, while Callie and Finn do a disappearing act. Ivan, smelling something fishier than a tuna sandwich at a poker game, confronts Jasper. Under the threat of becoming Ivan's next punching bag, Jasper spills the beans. But not to be outdone, Callie and Finn strut in with the next day's scandalous snapshot, featuring Callie in her birthday suit for the sake of art, and Jasper lurking like a bad reality show twist. Ivan, intrigued by this PG-13 turn of events, decides to leave, but not without a plan to exploit this supernatural shutterbug for all it's worth. Now, our heroes are forced into a daily photo shoot, sending Ivan the betting results like they're catering to a mob boss's Instagram feed. Everything's going according to Ivan's nefarious plan, until Finn notices the next day's art project looks like a kindergartner's take on a pirate flag. The skull and crossbones aren't exactly Finn's style, unless he's suddenly into pirate chick. In a twist that could only be dreamed up after a marathon of B-grade sci-fi movies, our gang decides that future Finn's artistic endeavors are actually dire warnings from beyond, or at least from tomorrow. Jasper, in a move that screams, "I've watched too many action films," turns their living room into a Home Alone set. But with knives because, stabbings are way more subtle. He practices his stabbing like he's prepping for a culinary showdown with a block of cheese. That evening, Finn bumps into Big Joe, who's now a cop because apparently, job transitions in this town are as easy as changing socks. As they chat, Marcus turns into a creepy stalker, spying from his car like he's auditioning for a low-budget thriller. Joe hands Finn his card because that's what people do when they become cops overnight. They print business cards. Finn relays his brush with law enforcement to Jasper, who's probably too busy setting booby traps to care. Ivan and Marcus, with their trust issues on full display, storm in, find Joe's card, and leap to conclusions faster than a conspiracy theorist on the internet. Jasper, in a moment of deceptive genius or sheer panic, tells Ivan that tomorrow's Polaroid features Marcus in a starring role as the deceased. Ivan, struck with a sudden case of paranoia, dashes to verify this plot twist, leaving his buddy Marcus with Jasper, who's been itching to try out his new stabbing skills. When Ivan returns, he finds Marcus practicing being a corpse, and Jasper decides to go Babe Ruth on him, turning a tense situation into a makeshift ball game. They then store the bodies in Mr. B's storage, because apparently it doubles as a freezer for unwanted guests. The next Polaroid shockingly shows Jasper as the new poster boy for Get Rich or Die Trying, sitting pretty with mountains of cash. They decide to make it rain with Ivan's gambling fortune, because who needs morals when you have millions? Finn, suddenly the voice of reason, suggests fleeing the country, because nothing says innocent like leaving the scene of a crime with bags of cash. But the others, clearly not fans of tropical beaches or extradition laws, disagree. Cue the dramatic entrance of Dr. Heidecker, Mr. B's friend, who's apparently been living under a rock until now. Jasper, crumbling under pressure like a stale cookie, fails to keep their alibis straight. Dr. Heidecker, in a twist no one asked for, turns into Dirty Harry, leveling a gun at them over a misunderstanding. Mr. B's posthumous letter reveals he thought he was starring in his own tragic murder mystery, but in reality, he was just a victim of his own clumsiness with chemicals. Heidecker, unfazed by the gang's murderous vibe, concludes it was all an accident, probably missing the memo that these aren't the kind of people you turn your back on. The camera, the root of all their problems, turns out to be more advanced than they thought, capable of peeping into the future with better accuracy than a psychic on a good day. But since Heidecker can't contribute to their next crime spree, Jasper decides she's seen too much and makes a decision that would make even the most hardened noir detective facepalm. After turning their living situation into something that makes Game of Thrones look like a friendly game of chess, Finn, Jasper, and Callie have officially entered the Soap Opera Hall of Fame. They hide Dr. Heidecker's body as casually as if they're just tossing out last season's fashion. No biggie, just another day, another body. Finn, suddenly growing a conscience, decides living with a casual murderer is where he draws the line. Because accidental deaths and time-traveling cameras are fine, but murder? That's just rude. At 8 p.m., Jasper's playing photographer with their ill-gotten gains, while Callie's peeking into tomorrow because who needs suspense anyway? Finn, suitcase in hand, is ready to bail because nothing solves problems like running away, right? He finds Jasper and Callie in the midst of an existential crisis over a Polaroid that would make even daytime TV blush. Finn, seeing the photo of Callie and Jasper's X-rated escapade while he's napping on the couch, is not amused. His reaction is the adult equivalent of finding out your favorite show got cancelled. Callie, in a moment of clarity, decides now's a good time for a dramatic exit. Finn, in a soap opera-worthy twist, reveals an engagement ring to Jasper. Because nothing says "I love you" like proposing after discovering infidelity. Jasper, clearly not feeling the love, knocks Finn out. Because why talk about your feelings when you can just commit assault? Jasper, a true romantic, decides to ensure the scandalous photo becomes a reality, tying up Finn like a Christmas present in the storage unit. Meanwhile, Finn Houdini's his way out of the ropes because who needs a locksmith when you've got determination and a burning desire for revenge? Armed with a bucket of water, Finn threatens to give the camera a bath because apparently electronics don't like water. Who knew? In a standoff worthy of a Western, Jasper pulls a gun on Callie, while Finn plays negotiator with the tactical prowess of a wet sponge. Callie, finding the ring in Jasper's pocket, switches sides faster than a politician in election season. She disarms Jasper with the ease of a ninja and opens the door for Finn, because teamwork makes the dream work, folks. As they plan their escape, Jasper, not done with his villain audition, attacks Finn. Callie, deciding she's had enough of this nonsense, saves Finn with a surprise attack. Because who needs therapy when you can just solve problems with violence? Callie, playing nurse, goes to fetch ice for Finn's injuries. But Finn, ever the detective, catches her in a suspicious act. She's posing for the camera because apparently they haven't had enough drama yet. Finn discovers the camera's secret morning photo sessions because, why limit yourself to spying once a day? Finn asks Callie about everything, and that's when the truth comes out. Before all the drama started, Finn and Callie were having trouble with their relationship. Finn wasn't paying much attention to Callie, and she felt unloved, so she ended up getting close to Jasper. What they didn't know was that Mr. B's special camera was taking pictures of them being sneaky the whole time. Callie's first trip to Mr. B's apartment turned out to be more revealing than a daytime talk show. There she finds the world's most invasive camera and some snapshots of her and Jasper's R-rated escapades. Because nothing says, "caught in the act," like high-definition Polaroids scattered around like confetti. In a move straight out of a spy novel, she snatches those incriminating photos faster than a kid stealing cookies. Callie discovers this camera doubles as an early bird and night owl, snapping pics at 8 a.m. and p.m. But, like a true secret agent, she keeps the morning photo shoot under wraps, especially after finding a selfie with instructions more complex than IKEA furniture assembly. These morning messages become her personal cheat sheet for messing with the space-time continuum, and her love life. One fine a.m., the camera plays Cupid, suggesting she lock lips with Jasper just a tad too long. Because nothing spices up a relationship like making your partner green with envy at a scheduled time. Following the camera's advice, she swaps out a wholesome family photo for one that's definitely not safe for work, aiming to ignite a fire under Finn's feet. Lo and behold, Finn turns into a knight in shining armor, ready to joust for her honor, or just really confused about what's going on. When the truth comes out, Finn decides he's had enough of Callie's time-traveling shenanigans and plans to smash the camera. Callie, in a twist that would make Shakespeare facepalm, decides killing his boyfriend is the logical next step. Thus she creates the world's goriest art installation right on their window. Her master plan involves leaving a sticky note for her past self, because nothing says "I've got a plan" like a post-it. She believes this note will magically undo all the chaos, because in Callie's world, sticky notes have more power than a genie's lamp. As she waits for the camera's flash, Big Joe, now playing the role of law and order, comes knocking. Callie, convinced her post-it plan will work, leaves with Joe, calm as a monk on laundry day. But in a moment of poetic injustice, her note peels off the window like a band-aid on a hairy leg. She attempts a last-minute dash to restick her time-traveling memo, but Joe's having none of it. As the camera captures its final scene, the movie cuts to black, leaving us all wondering if Callie ever got a refund on her obviously defective sticky notes. In the end, Callie learns the hard way that you can't post-it note your way out of a causal loop. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a wish and a smile. The timeline's set in stone, and not even a camera with a penchant for drama can change that. So, the morale of the story? If you're going to start tampering with time, maybe invest in some better adhesive.